Hello! Shockingly, today's story is not from 10 or 15 years ago. It's from a few days ago. And if you've seen my probably the dumbest story I will ever tell LMAO video, it's kind of like that. But I honestly like this story even better because it hits really close to home. And yes, I know we're not at the usual story time corner, but I feel like the lighting is way better if I do it this way. So here we are. This might be our new spot. And trust me, it'll look more cute eventually. I plan on getting like new stuff to hang on the walls and whatnot. Also, do you like my little fangirl promos over here? I had to do it on them. Sorry. Anyway, like I said, this story takes place just a few nights ago. Recently, I've been on this huge bedroom makeover kick. More recently, it started really coming together. And I'm starting to really like it a lot. It's cute. It's starting to be a little aesthetically pleasing. I mean, it's still a mess 60% of the time because it's me, but it's cute. The colors are getting cute, and by colors, I mean everything in here is black and white. But one of the last things that we, because my family has been helping me out a lot with it, managed to do was get a new bedspread that actually matches the rest of the room. So last week, Emmy, my grandmother, and I went to Bed Bath & Beyond, and she helped me pick out a new bedspread. Black and gray. What a surprise. So we come back to the house, and obviously we have to take off all the old sheets and, you know, get rid of them. And for literal years, like since I was like 11 or 12, I had these colorful circular pillows that not only were like, you know, decorative, but I would use them to like support my back. But I've had them for what, 8 years? Oh my God. And I thought it was time to say goodbye. So Emmy told me that she was gonna take care of it, she was gonna get rid of them for me, and I was like, cool, great. Now before we get to the real meat, substance of this story, I need to give y'all a little background. So when I was really young, I was probably 5 or 6, I had one of my biggest surgeries. It was either the one where they put the rod in my spine, or it was my first stomach surgery. And while I was in the hospital, my mom got me this purple teddy bear with a green nose that squeaked, and I named him Mr. Beeps. And for some reason, I had tons of stuffed animals, but something about this bear was really important to me. Maybe it was because my mom gave him to me when I was in the hospital, but a lot of people gave me a lot of things when I was in the hospital, so I don't know. And he became like this iconic thing that he was always in my bed. I always slept with him. Tame your brain. I know where it's going. And still to this day, I keep him in my room. You know, it's more of a sentimental thing at this point. Just I've managed to keep him for this many years, and he's kind of a iconic symbol for my childhood. So he's really, really important to me even now. Anyway, back to the story. So it was either the night of the day that we remade my bed with the new bed set, or it was the night after, I don't really remember. But I was getting into bed and I noticed that Mr. Beeps was nowhere to be found. Now, it's not like I literally sleep with him like in my arms every single night, but he's usually somewhere in the vicinity. But I've never been able to literally not find him. I've always been able to locate him no matter where he is. So I'm looking all over my room. I'm tearing my bed apart that we just made. I'm looking under it. I'm looking in my closet. I'm looking in my office, and I can't find him. Side note, this is all happening at about 2 or 2:30 in the morning when everyone else is asleep, but that's my normal bedtime. So at first I'm just like, okay, he's probably with the pillows or whatever that Emmy took for me, but she probably didn't like actually throw them away yet, so I'll just go to sleep and I'll look for him again in the morning. But of course my brain, in its normal fashion, will not stop spiraling about this damn teddy bear, and I just can't sleep. And my bed is literally right up against the wall with windows that look out into the front driveway. So I sit up and I look out the window and I see the garbage cans at the end of the driveway ready to be picked up by the trash can. The trash can. Ready to be picked up by the trash can. The garbage truck. Now I'm just imagining like a giant trash can with arms and legs walking down the street, picking up small trash cans and like putting them inside of himself. Anyway, now I'm freaking out because it's about 2:30 in the morning, and the garbage truck usually comes at what, 5 or 6? So I'm like, oh my God, he's in there. I bet you he's in there, and I have a few more hours to figure out where he is before he could potentially be gone forever. So now I'm having a full-on panic attack, and I'm just like, everyone's asleep, and there's no way with my ant structure of a body that I'll be able to efficiently dig through these garbage cans by myself. What the actual am I gonna do? And the way our living situation works is there's 2 buildings on our property. My dad and I live in the main house, which is in the front, and my grandmother and grandfather live in the back house. So like we live on the same plot of land, but it's in 2 separate little buildings basically. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to call Emmy. I'm gonna have to wake up my grandmother at 2 o'clock in the morning to dig through some trash cans with me.
Oh my God, couldn't you have just waken up your dad? No, because he's not the one that knew where the pillows were, okay?
And I did not want to do that. I mean, who wants to do that? Who wants to wake up their lovely grandmother at 2 o'clock in the morning to dig through garbage cans with them for a teddy bear? That's not good for someone's ego, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting on my bed, just staring out my window in despair at these trash cans with my phone in my hand, just like contemplating. And I'm just like, oh my God, if I don't call her and ask for help, Mr. Beeps will be on his way to the dump. Like the dump or like the recycling. You recycle a teddy bear? I don't know. But just he'll be on his way to a life that I never wanted him to have. I gave him such a good 15 years, sleeping in my bed, coming with me on trips, like, and then I'm just gonna let him go to the dump? Like, I can't do that. The thought of that was just too painful. So about 30 minutes later, I finally decide to call Emmy at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I pick up my phone and I call her and she picks up and she just goes, Taylor? And I'm like, yeah. Like I just felt so bad immediately. And she's just like, what's up? And I was like, what did you do with those circle pillows that were on my bed that I told you to get rid of? And she's just like, they're in the garbage. And I was like, did you happen to see a purple teddy bear intertwined with those pillows at all? Shut up! And she's like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, okay, well, I can't find him absolutely anywhere. And I think he might be with wherever the pillows are. And bless her heart, she said that she would go look. And obviously, I'm not gonna let her stand outside and just dig through these trash cans alone. So I put my shoes on and meet her outside. First one she goes to is one of the blue recycling ones. And the first thing she takes out is the big plastic zipper bag thing that the comforter was in. She takes that out and then she starts taking out the colorful circle pillows. And I was like, oh my God, okay, this is the moment, this is it. This is the time that I'm gonna find out if he's in here or not. And if he's not in any of these cans, bitch, I'm going to feel, oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to feel like the actual worst granddaughter or person in general in the world. So she takes out all the circle pillows and he's nowhere to be seen. There's like some empty plastic bottles and cardboard and paper in there, but no trace of the beepster. And I'm panicking, like hardcore starting to panic. And then my grandfather comes out. And because of the way my brain works and because of my weird social anxiety, no matter how close I am with a person, my brain immediately goes, oh my God, he came out here with her. I'm gonna throw this chair because he's outraged that his granddaughter is making his wife get up and dig through a recycling bin at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it turned out that he just had to go to work because some days he has to go super, super early in the morning. And this happened to be one of those days, but my mind hates itself. So I feel even worse now. And I'm just like, oh my God, oh, this is bad. This is really uncomfortable. He's like, what's going on out here? And Emmy's like, Taylor thinks I threw away her favorite monkey. Not a monkey, but it's okay, I'll forgive that part. And my grandfather has a very goofy sense of humor, which I love. But in this moment, I thought that he was just making fun of me for the fact that I am this worried about a stuffed animal. He looks at me and he's like, what's his name? And I was like, Mr. Beeps. And then he just starts yelling, Mr. Beeps! 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 Mr. Beeps! And I'm just like crumbling in because I just feel like trash. I feel like I belong in those cans. Like first I move into their house and then I make them dig through the trash with me in the middle of the night. Like, of course, all he was doing was trying to make light of the situation, but like I was laughing and I was like, but inside, it was tears that were flowing, not laughter. And as he's making jokes and I'm laughing out of anxiety, she's still digging through this recycling bin. And right when I'm starting to accept the fact that I may never see my precious Beeps ever again, Emmy takes out this bundled up sheet and she pulls up one end of it and lets the other end unfold, and out rolls. He was there! My intuition was correct. He could have been gone, y'all. Like that episode of Toy Story, y'all. He could have been that episode of Toy Story. That scene, the scene in Toy Story 3 where they're like on the conveyor belt going to the incinerator. That could have been him. That could have been him. It could have been, and I couldn't let that happen to you. After 15 years, that scene ruined my life. And I couldn't let it be him. So I was just rejoicing. I was like, yes. If I didn't trust my gut and I didn't make that call at 2 o'clock in the morning and force my grandmother to dig through the trash with me, he would have been taken away. Sorry, my Delaware roots come out sometimes when I get emotional. He would have been taken away. But then, as my grandfather is getting into his car to leave for work, he says, oh, but by the way, tomorrow isn't even trash day. So I guess technically, I did have a whole extra 24 hours that I could have taken to do this, and I could have done it during the day. But hey, better safe than sorry. Isn't that right, Beepster? Isn't that right? Yeah. His squeaker stopped working probably like a week after I got him. After that, I thanked Emmy about 20 times, went back up to my room with Beeps in hand. I can't tell you when the last time I actually like cuddled this motherfucker at night was, but that night I was just like, oh my god, I don't appreciate you enough. I'm so sorry. I will forever be indebted. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But I will forever appreciate you more than I ever have. I took you for granted. I'm so sorry. Wow, I should go into acting. I can make myself cry on command. I didn't know I could do that. I mean, you can't really see, but they're welling. They're really welling. I mean, I've had a lot of practice. That's for sure. And then I drifted off to sleep, and it was just a lovely end to a very stressful evening. And it gave me content. So hell yeah. We all win in the end. But that's the end of the story of the time that I forced my grandmother to dig through the trash with me at 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank you, Emmy, for being an incredible sport and putting up with me. And thank you, Robert, for making that experience even funnier than it already was. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to follow all my social media accounts and buy my merch if you would like to support me. The links to all of those things are in the description. Mr. Beeps and I, thank you all so much for watching, and I, probably not him, but I will see you in my next video. Love you, bye!